Plant-based activated carbons for cobalt and strontium removal, insights into adsorption mechanisms. This important article is authored by the following scientists. To investigate the adsorption behavior of Co, and CA-2 ions on the surface of plant-based activated carbons, obtained from walnut shells, CAN, and applewood, CAM, and modified by oxidation with nitric acid and nitric acid urea mixture. Activated carbons were chemically modified using nitric acid, sample CA-Mox, and a nitric acid urea mixture, samples CA-Mox-u, CA-Nox-u. Their physicochemical properties were characterized through nitrogen adsorption isotherms, SEM-EDX, FTIR spectroscopy, pH metric titrations, Boehm titration, and elemental analysis. Batch adsorption experiments were conducted to evaluate the removal efficiency of Co, and CA-2 ions over a pH range of 2 to 10. Kinetic models, pseudo-first-order, pseudo-second-order, intraparticle diffusion, and isotherm models, Langmuir, Freundlich, Dubinin, Radushkevich, Temkin-Pyzhev, were applied to study adsorption mechanisms and estimate maximum adsorption capacities. On the surface of activated carbons, the following functional groups have been identified: strongly acidic groups, CA-Mox, 0.95 mg/g, CA-Mox-u, 0.44 mg/g, CA-Nox-u, 0.32 mg/g, and weakly acidic and phenolic groups, while the pH PZC value of the studied activated carbons increase as follows: CA-Mox, 2.3, CA-Mox-u, 3.3, CA-Nox-u, 3.9, CAM, 6.9, CAN, 8.3. The results of batch experiments indicate that maximum adsorption can be achieved in broad pH ranges, 4 to 8 for Co, and 4 to 10 for CA-2. The maximum adsorption capacities of Co, and CA-2 on oxidized activated carbons at pH is equal to 4R, CA-Mox, 0.085 and 0.076 mol/g, CA-Mox-u, 0.056 and 0.041 mol/g, and CA-Nox-u, 0.041 and 0.034 mol/g, respectively. The experimental data are best described by the pseudo-second kinetic model, suggesting that the adsorption of metal ions, cobalt, and strontium, onto oxidized activated carbons is based on chemisorption. The constants determined for the Freundlich and Langmuir models and the energy values estimated by Dubinin Radushkevich demonstrate that the adsorption process of strontium, and cobalt, ions onto oxidized activated carbons is favorable and dominated by chemisorption of the energetically homogeneous surface in the modeled system. The investigations highlight the important role of the solution pH of the activated carbons functional groups and the pH PZC value for the adsorption process of cobalt, and strontium, ions. By summarizing the obtained results, the adsorption mechanisms of toxic metal ions on activated carbons were proposed. Introduction. Plants are increasingly used to make activated carbon, a special material that can trap harmful substances. This is because plants are widely available, renewable, and come in many forms, making them a great starting point for creating eco-friendly filters. Activated carbon is especially useful for cleaning polluted water, as it can remove dangerous substances like heavy metals and chemicals. Heavy metals such as lead, cadmium, mercury, cobalt, and radioactive elements like cesium and strontium are extremely toxic. They do not break down easily and can build up in living organisms, causing serious health problems like kidney damage, nerve disorders, skin issues, and even cancer. When these metals get into water sources, they pose a major threat to both people and the environment. One way to remove these metals is by using activated carbon, which works by attracting and holding the metal particles on its surface. For this process to be effective, the carbon needs to have the right surface features, such as high surface area and specific chemical groups. This study focused on creating activated carbon from walnut shells and applewood to agricultural wastes. These materials were treated with nitric acid, and in one method, a mix of nitric acid and urea was used to improve performance while protecting the carbon structure. The treated carbons were then tested for their ability to remove cobalt, Co, and strontium, CA, from water. The results showed that the modified carbons were especially good at capturing certain metals. Scientists also used various models to understand how quickly and how much metal the carbon could absorb. This research helps develop better, low-cost ways to clean polluted water using plant-based materials. Conclusions. This study developed new water cleaning materials using walnut shells and apple wood. These plant-based materials were turned into activated carbon and treated with nitric acid or a mix of nitric acid and urea to improve their surface. Special chemical groups formed on the surface help capture harmful metal ions like cobalt and strontium from water. Researchers tested how well these materials could absorb the metals and found that chemical bonding, called Chemisorption, plays a key role. The surface acidity and the pH of the water strongly influenced how the metals attached to the carbon. Different mechanisms were found depending on the pH. At low pH, metals attach through bonding with oxygen groups. At mid pH, they interact with surface charges or swap places with surface chemicals. Overall, the study shows how waste materials can be turned into powerful, eco-friendly filters to remove toxic metals from polluted water. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel BP International to watch more videos in the fields of science, technology and medicine.